Hey, welcome everyone. Thanks for coming to our Hofstra Summer Camps webinar. We're going to focus on tonight the Specialty and Learning Institute, and we have a special guest with us, Mike Puglisi, who is, listen, he's the guy on the island when you talk about gaming, and his company that he works with us on is the Game Builders Academy, and they're first class, and we're really lucky to have him, and we're thankful Mike could come by tonight and join us in the camp office and just speak about the summer and what we have to offer and how we can make this just an unbelievable time for your child. I want to go over first. I'm just going to do a little bit of an overview, tell you a little bit about our camp, where we've been, historically. We've been in business here over 35 years on our campus. We run most of our programs right here on campus. If you've never been to our campus, we'd love for you to come visit. We have a beautiful 250-acre campus, and we use every part of it for the summer camp. And we're very lucky that we have the support of the administrative staff, from President Poser right on down to the vice presidents to everyone on the campus, because they know that we're, educating children is an important part of what we do as just an overall educational institution. So it's a great deal for us. We have a great camp family. Most of us have been here for a long time. This is going to be my 22nd year. And most of the people that work with us have been here equally as long, because we believe in our product, and we believe that what we can do for the children in the New York metropolitan area is second to none. So just to give you a little overview, we have 7 weeks of camp. There are 3 2-week sessions and then a 1-week session at the end. We run Monday to Friday, 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. And we go through the New York State certification process with the Board of Health, and we're also accredited by the American Camping Association. But probably almost more importantly is we fall under the guidance of Hofstra University, which takes pride in, like I said before, educating people across the metropolitan area. So that's an important part of us. And we're very strict on who we hire. And like I said, many of us have been here for years. We do a full criminal background check on everyone, which I know is not common, but that's how important it is to the health and safety of your children. And one of the other things, when you talk about COVID, I'll get into it right away, because we've had a few, people check in about it. We were in business last year, and we had a very successful year because we're very lucky to be under the guidance of Northwell Health Systems. They're right here on campus with us. We have a medical school that literally backs up right to where our camp operation is, and we're under their guidance on everything. So we're very in tune about what needs to be done and for the safety of your children. And one of the things that we're very, very strict on is that all the people that work here have to be fully vaccinated, including a booster, or they won't be hired and they won't be rehired. So it's important, the health and safety of your children. And we also have a fully staffed nurse station, infirmary, where we have 2 or 3 RNs on duty every day, and we have EMTs out on the field and some nurses. So just make sure, like I said, health and safety and happiness for your child is probably the most important thing for us to do on campus. Just to let you know that we provide bus transportation in the specialty camp and the Learning Institute. It's part of your tuition, and I'll explain a little bit our different parts of camp. In the sports camp, it's optional. And we use We Transport. We Transport is one of the foremost transportation companies on the island. They're all professionally trained, and they drive all year for many of the districts on the island. So they come to us in the summer, and we have the dispatchers live on campus, which is our benefit. And we use TransFinder transportation applications on the computer, which helps us locate the bus at all times. We can tell when the bus door opens, when the bus door shuts, where they are, and we're in constant communication with the bus staff. So we're proud of our affiliation with We Transport, and we know that we're very lucky to be in such great hands as them. We're divided up into 4 separate pieces of the camp, really. The first one is our specialty camp, and our specialty camp children choose one of their specialties. It's like a major that they like to do, something they have great interest in. And the younger kids, the 2nd through 5th graders, complete their specialty every morning. And then we have a midday break and lunch. And in the afternoon, they do their recreation. Recreation takes in swimming, and just like it says, recreation games, which could be anything from an arts and crafts activity to playing some kind of ball out in the field. And every Thursday we have a special day. We have the Harlem Wizards usually come to play our staff. We also have carnivals, we have concerts, we have all kinds of things, and we make full use of all our wonderful opportunities here on the campus. We also have a Learning Institute that's more on the educational piece, and we're very lucky the staff we have. We have some professors that teach. We have people with their doctorates. So everybody that runs a specialty is either a certified teacher or a professional in their field. So we're, like I said, we vet people very closely. We're strict in what we do. And, we feel like having a good staff is part of our extension to having having your child have a good time. We also have a sports academy. Our sports camps run by our Division I head coaches. One of the things you'll find when you come to campus is our facilities can't be matched. They can't be matched across the island. I mean, our sports facilities in particular, whether it's the arena, which is a 5,000-seat arena, or a baseball stadium, or a lacrosse stadium, which is used for all kinds of different events, and our field hockey stadium, our soccer stadium, they're all second to none. And even our science takes part in the science labs. We have computer labs, we have theaters, so we have full reign of a major Division I university. And we're very lucky, like I said before, that the university gives us those things. We also have a partnership with BOCES. That's for vocational ed for the older children, like middle school and above, which is a really neat thing because it's things that we can't offer here on campus. So child comes here, and then we'll take them over to BOCES, or in some instances we can have you meet over there, and we have fully staffed with our staff plus the BOCES staff. And you can see some of the things if you look online, from culinary arts to veterinary training, things that just will give kids a little bit of insight in where they might want to go. And population grows, and different varieties of things they can choose. It's a really neat thing. So like I said before, our specialty camp, 2nd through 5th graders take their specialty in the morning, and then their recreation in the afternoon. The 6th through 10th graders take their recreation and swim in the morning, and in the afternoon they'll take their specialty. So it's kind of split up into a couple different pieces of the day. The morning, actually, arrival is a piece of the day. Then our morning activities, our lunchtime, and our afternoon activities, and our dismissal activities. So it kind of works out that we put in a full day, and we use all parts of the campus. Dismissal is from our physical education center. That's our hub in the summer, where the buses come in. We have another office in addition to our office here on Oak Street, and it's just a place where it's an easy place for everyone to get in and out. And we're assigned 2 public safety officers just to direct traffic and make sure that the safety of children is always forefront in our mind. As I said before, we use We Transport. It's door-to-door transportation in Nassau, Weston, Suffolk, some parts of Queens, and parts of Manhattan. Everything's air conditioned, so that's a boost, especially in the hot days. We're ready to go with that. And just know that even on the hot days, for camp wise, we're afforded so many indoor activities. All our indoor facilities are air conditioned. So if it's too hot, we can go, and we have an 80-yard bubble that's used. We have, like I said, we have a physical fitness center. We have an arena. We have a physical education center. We have 3 indoor sports facilities. We have indoor classrooms all over the place. So if there's ever too hot a day, we have people, our medical staff monitors the health and safety outside, so we can always move inside and make sure that we give everyone a good day, even if it's something that's scorching hot and probably not safe to be outside. Lunch, we got the best. Our lunch is by Compass. It's our catering service on campus. It's the same people that cater the food for all our events and all of our students. We have thousands of kids that live on campus, so there's something they do continue. It's a rotating menu. Every day there's a main entree. It could be anything from pizza to chicken nuggets to chicken parmesan to tacos. I mean, it just is endless. And every day we have a hamburger and a hot dog, just in case somebody's not sure exactly what they want. We have stations with sandwiches and salads. They can take from the salad station. There's a vegetable each day that choose from. There's a potato each day, and there's a dessert at the end of the day. So it's a great time for the kids to relax, come inside, or under one of our beautiful dining areas, and just listen. They can eat as much as they want and get a full meal in, and obviously there's drinks included and things like that. So we select the menu through our catering group, and they're first class. Like I said, they do everything here from children, students to children's activities to the gala and the kids that live on campus as resident students. Okay, discounts. We offer a lot of discounts. I'm going to tell you right now, we already started enrollment and we're pretty far along. There's room for everybody, but I would suggest that if you plan on enrolling or have more information, need more information, please contact us. Just so you know, as of tonight, we're offering a special discount based on this webinar, and we only offer it certain times of the year. So I would suggest that, if like I said, if you're interested, get on board. It only takes a deposit. And some of the, so tonight, every week is $50. If you come for a 2-week specialty camp, it's $100 off. 4 weeks is $200. 6 weeks is $300. So you can get up to $350 in discounts, and that's programmed into the computer now. So if you want to get online and register, you just have to put the deposit. You don't have to pay everything. And we do have payment plans. They're more than willing to work with you on just putting down deposit and paying off as you go along. We have a Hofstra Alumni. If you're Hofstra Alumni, hey, we love it. Come aboard. Northwell, if you work at Northwell, they're a partner, like I said, medical, and they're here on campus with union discount. Belong to any union, whether it's a hospital union, a trade union. We respect the hard work of people in the unions, and we're a union shop here, so we would love for you guys to come aboard and take the discount. We just look for an ID. That's all we're looking for is some kind of ID from wherever you belong. So it's 10% every sports academy, 15% or a specialty camp. So that's something, like I said, you can take advantage of now. We've been open for a while for registration, and like I said, we're filling up. Last year was one of our best years ever, and I think people just understand that we're a full-time operation. We have full year-round, and we're supported by a tremendous administration here that believes in us and believes in what we put out and believes in just making this a great place for kids to come. We're going to turn it over now to Mike Puglisi. Like I said, Mike, and I'm telling you, he's the man as far as game building goes. He's been with us for years. I think he grew up here. And, listen, the feedback we get from the game builders is off the charts. And he's always coming up with new things. And I'll let Mike speak for a little while. And at the end, question and answer, we have a couple already. Questions, send them in. We'll feed off anything you have and go from there. Michael, take it over, buddy.
Sure. All right. So, first of all, thanks for coming out and checking out what we have to offer. So I'm Mike Puglisi. I'm president of Game Builders Academy, and we've had an incredible partnership with Hofstra Summer Camps for actually the past over 15 years at this point. And it's really amazing because for us, we love technology. We love the most modern ways to innovate in education and technology for kids, and that plus all the amazing facilities at Hofstra really make this the best place for kids and technology on Long Island. It's really unmatched. But yeah, so what I'd like to take a little bit of time to do today is to just talk a little bit about us and our philosophy on our technology classes. And then just to break down kind of all the courses that we have running this year, I'll give you a quick overview of them, and then of course we'll do the Q&A afterwards. But yeah, so like I said, we've been around for over 15 years at this point, and with Hofstra, working with Hofstra, and really our philosophy with all of our classes is to find the perfect balance between learning and having fun, and that's really what it's all about. If the learning is too much and it's too stressful and too much work and not enough fun, it's hard to get the learning through. It's hard for them to actually, get the knowledge and to have fun with it. And at the same time, we also make sure that with all of our classes, whether it's the coding classes or the art classes, they're learning, they're using industry professional software. So even at a young age, they're getting, they're getting exposure to the same software that professionals in all these different industries actually use. So we really try to get that balance between learning and having fun with all of our courses. So yeah, to start going over the courses that we have for this year, I'm going to go, we'll talk about all the courses that are on screen as well as a few other ones as well. I'm going to start with our video game design courses. Now those are kind of our namesake, Game Builders Academy. So we started with our game design courses and we've been adding on to them ever since. So the first one I'll talk about is called Game Design 101. That's kind of like your best starting area if the child's interested in game design, and really for all of our game design courses, it's really a healthy mix of art and programming. So art and coding, they're going to do a lot of both. Some sound effect implementation as well. So if they're into art, coding, things like that, that's really the best place for them. So with our game design courses, starting with Game Design 101, that's really the best place to start. We use a program called Game Maker for that course. It's a great way for students to start, and it's also an industry use software where professionals use that to make games. And the greatest thing about all the game design courses is that by the end of it, they come away with a finished game. So they start with absolutely nothing. We're not a big fan of giving them an already made project and saying change this, change that, now it's your game. We really have them do everything from the ground up. So they start by making their character, they do the art for it, then they learn how to make it move through coding and make the game come to life. And like I said, every day we add and add and add. And by the end of the course, they have a finished video game they could show off to friends and family. They could, for the older students, it's definitely like a portfolio piece that they could use for college in the future. We're really proud of what our students are really able to get out of those game design courses. So yeah, we have Game Design 101, which is kind of your starting place if you've never done any game design. That's running every session for the younger and older age ranges. There's Virtual Reality Game Design, which is a really interesting one. So, obviously virtual reality is getting huge. We have 2 different VR courses, which we'll talk about in a second. But with virtual reality, you're going to be designing the game on the computer. A 3D game using, again, professional software, Unreal Engine and Unity software. And then we also have great VR headsets for our campers to use. It's called the Oculus Quest 2 headset. So the kids actually get to put those visors on. They get to go through their game in virtual reality, which is pretty amazing for them to be able to do at their age. We have Roblox game design, which is really big. I'm sure Roblox will probably ring a few bells for a lot of parents. So one of the greatest things that we love about our Roblox course is they go from being players to creators. And that's really the big focus of that course. They go from just playing all these Roblox games to making them. And the great thing about making them, so we use a program called Roblox Studio to do that, which again is what the professionals use to make all those Roblox games that they play. And after they finish making their game, again, they get to publish it to Roblox. So it's an actual Roblox game. They get to tell their friends, hey, go onto my Roblox game that I made, and they all get to play together in it, which is pretty amazing. We also have another game design course called RPG Game Design. So RPG stands for role-playing game. So for students who are really into writing and stories and character dialogue and things like that, that's a really great course for them. Even if they might not be so into games, if they're really into characters and stories, that's a great introduction to coding for them with the RPG game design class, because it's a big focus on like fantasy stories and things like that, making your own characters, having battle systems and making your own maps and things like that. So funny enough, even the students who I've seen some students who really don't like writing and things like that when they're in school, and when they come here and get to write about their own games and their own characters, they seem to just open up. Like I've had parents come and say, I've never seen my student write that much ever in my life. So that's my favorite stuff to see, is when parents come back and tell us that stuff. We know we're doing something right when that happens. So those are our game design courses. I'll move on to our digital arts courses. And again, with the digital arts courses, they're all heavily based in modern technology and the latest in art. So the first one I'll talk about is one we've had since the very beginning, and that's 3D printing and animation. So that's gone through different stages. You'll see a lot of the courses that we've had for many years have gone through lots of iterations and upgrades. Every single year we upgrade these courses to have the latest stuff. So for 3D printing and animation, it's pretty amazing. So first they get to, they learn how to do 3D modeling and CAD. So they're actually building their own 3D models of characters and of backgrounds and special effects. And then they learn how to animate them, move all the parts and animate them to make their own, almost like Pixar-like short animated films like Toy Story and things like that. So they make their own 3D animated shorts. And then on top of that, they learn about the 3D printing aspect of it. So they get to take some of the creations from the course, the characters or objects that they make, or name tags, and then they get to print that out with the 3D printer, and they come home with a physical piece of the work that was on their screen, and then they see it, in the real world, which is pretty amazing. We've had students just kind of stare at the 3D printer as it's printing, because it's pretty amazing technology. And you'll find that we actually use that 3D printer technology in a few different courses, which I'll get to in a sec, actually, including the next one. So the next one is Fashion Design Runway. So Fashion Design Runway, again, takes the traditional and the modern approach to fashion design. So first of all, the teacher for that course, for all of them are amazing, but just to put a special spotlight for that teacher, she is a fashion designer and a regular high school level fashion design teacher, and it's amazing to see what she does with her students. She teaches them the traditional side of it, where they're doing hand sewing, and they learn how to use sewing machines, and and huge emphasis on safety for that course. And then after they do that, they also learn some 3D printing parts of it as well, where they get to make their own accessories and buttons and add that to their actual garments. So with that class, students are making their own garments. They're actually sewing their own garments and creating dresses and bags and hats and all kinds of things. And the best part about it is at the end, they do an actual runway show. So we have an actual red carpet that we put out. We have music playing. We have people taking pictures. We have announcers who are announcing what they're wearing as they're walking down the runway. And we make that video available for parents in any case that they wouldn't be able to come. We make that available for all parents to see. But it's one of my favorite parts of the end of each session is to check out the fashion show. We have the next one is Pokemon Master Makers. So really, the whole purpose of Pokemon Master Makers is to get our youngest students immersed in technology. That's it. So really, Pokemon Master Makers is a crash course in all different types of technology that we use at camp, but all centered around the world of Pokemon, which a lot of them have an interest in. So, for example, some of the things they'll be doing, again, going back to the 3D printing, they'll be 3D printing their own Pokeball. If you tell a kid what a Pokeball is, they'll be able to tell you. Which is a little Pokemon item. They'll be able to make their own Pokemon creatures in this design software that we have. We get to have great conversations about science and math. We talk about the biology and what's an herbivore and a carnivore. And we talk about the skeletal system and bipedal creatures and quadrupedal creatures. They take those creatures, and then they actually learn the graphic design end of things. So they actually use programs like the Adobe Photoshop software, where they take their creatures and get to put it on a Pokemon card. They set all their stats for the Pokemon, what the name of it is, what type it is, and we actually print those cards for them. So they walk away with a Pokemon card that they made themselves of their own creature, which is pretty great, as well as a bunch of other projects that all revolve around technology and Pokemon. We have YouTube video production. So YouTube video production is really just a great video production course, video editing and production course, centered again around the world of YouTube, which is honestly the most popular use of video production at this point. So students are going to learn about how to record their own videos, whether it's gameplay videos and them playing a game and recording it, or doing a comedy skit with their friends, or doing a how-to video showing off how to do something. So they learn how to record it, and then they learn how to put it into editing software and actually edit it and cut out the parts they don't want, add special effects to it, put a title, put an end card, and with that class, we don't have them post anything to YouTube. We don't make a YouTube account for them. So we always tell them that that's up to them and of course the parents to do themselves. But they come away with a video which they can use for anything they'd like. and they can make any kind of video they like, which is pretty amazing. And that course, of course, we have technology-wise, we have lots of different cameras and webcams and microphones and recording equipment. We have green screens, so we do it up for that course, the YouTube video production. Kind of parallel to that course is VTuber Character Creator. Now, this is a new one for this year. VTuber Character Creator is a course that I'd recommend for students who would be interested in the video side of things, video production side of things, but also for students who like to create their own characters. So with that course, they're going to be designing their own 3D characters. And the really cool part about it is once they design it, we use kind of motion capture technology, which allows them to kind of sync up their characters with themselves. So if they were to move their heads or move their arm, the character would do the same thing. If they were to move their mouth or look to the right, look to the left, the character would do the same thing. And they make a video based on that character. And it could be anything. Again, it could be them talking to another student's character and doing a little comedy session. It could be them talking about games or talking about their favorite stuff, or them just making an animated film. So that's, again, brand new technology and something that's getting really big. And we're excited to do that course. And that's the VTuber Character Creator. The next one is Virtual Reality Creation Zone, which is also a new one. And for Virtual Reality Creation Zone, that is really a crash course in the latest in art and technology and virtual reality. So with that course, that they're not going to be in virtual reality with those headsets all day or for the whole course. We have lots of different projects that they're going to do. The VR part is a big part of it. But it's really the latest in art and technology, like I said, where they'll be learning a program called Google Tilt Brush, where they will be able to put on the VR headset and use the controller as a digital paintbrush to paint all around them. We have a big open space for them to play around with VR. They get to try lots of other VR technology. They do some art-based projects in that, other art-based projects in that course as well. So that's really a crash course in virtual reality and just the newest technology. So we're very excited about that one. Beyond that, just going into our other technology courses, we have for robotics this year. Robotics, again, is another one we've had, I think, since the beginning at this point. And again, we add on to it every year and look at the latest technology. And this year, what we're actually doing is taking two of the courses that we've had and combining them into one to add even more value to the course. So we have Lego and Sphero Robotics is what the course is called. So with the Lego end of it, they're going to be building the robots. As well as after they build it and put the motors and sensors and wheels and all the different kinds of things on the robot, they actually get to plug it in to a computer and they start doing coding for it. So that's another great coding course if you have a student interested in that. So they program these robots to move, to sense if there's a wall in front of it and then move 90 degrees this way. So there's a lot of great math and science applications for that course as well. So there's a lot of building and coding for that course. We have Minecraft Builders Club. In Minecraft Builders Club, they're going to be, and you'll see actually, I'll tell you two courses, is Minecraft Builders Club and Minecraft Modding Lab, which are two different ones, one for the younger, one for the older. Minecraft Builders Club, they're going to be introduced to a version of Minecraft called Minecraft EDU, which is an educational version of Minecraft that they could only find in a classroom setting or in a camp setting like us. So it's using Minecraft in different ways to have students work together. They work in two big teams. So we have a big focus in that course on kind of problem solving if something happens between students, on the social aspect, because a lot of times, students are playing, with someone else on the other side of the country or the other side of the world sometimes when they're playing online with people. And there's, we really try to focus on having them problem solve and socializing when they're using Minecraft, as well as we try to fit in a lot of math and science into that course as well. Because the whole world is made out of blocks, we get to have great conversations about perimeter and area and volume and things like that. So, and it's also, again, just a great way for students to connect on something that they love together. Minecraft Modding Lab is something that we've had requested for a long time, and we're making it happen this year. That's for the older students, and they're going to get to modify the original Minecraft game. So they're going to be able to put their own art in there, make their own enemies. So that's going to have some coding elements to it. It's going to have some art elements to it, but they're really going to put their own spin on Minecraft and really make it their own. So we're very excited about that. We have esports, gaming, and streaming. So if you haven't heard of esports is kind of the competition of people playing games, and we have a unique take on that course. But people are these esports players are filling entire stadiums full of people who are coming to just watch the best players of these certain games play. So our take on this is the technology end and the business end of esports. So students will be able to come and play their favorite games that they're really familiar with, and they'll be able to connect with that with their other classmates on those favorite games. But we also have, like I said, a big focus on technology. We show them all the technology that's involved with making gameplay clips, with being able to capture footage from consoles, and actually be successful in that industry. We're lucky enough to have Hofstra's esports team come and kind of mentor the students in that course, which is great. And they talk about what it's really like in the real world to be in that field and the commitment that you have to have. And they also get to kind of train with those students as well, which is really fun and just a great opportunity for them. On the last day, we do a live streamed tournament of a certain game, and we have students commentating on the games as well. So it's a totally student-run event, and it's really fun and again a really unique take to the whole esports scene. Get a few more. So we'll talk about App Inventor. With App Inventor, students will be using an MIT program called App Inventor, and they'll be able to make their own apps. So a little bit different from game design in the sense that they could make game apps, but really they're focusing on all different kinds of apps. It could be a productivity app. It could be something for a weather application or anything. So this is really a more generalized way to make apps specific to mobile devices. And again, they're going to be able to make all different kinds of apps depending on different tools that they decide to use. So we're excited about that. We have Scratch coding. Scratch coding is kind of a simpler version of our game design courses. So they will be making a game in that one, but it's really for like I said, it's a great introduction, and it's a much simpler take on it, and that we use the Scratch software to do that. And with that program, again, it's similar to the other game design courses, but it's more centered around that app kind of technology than the kind of PC ones that we've been using in the other game design courses. But again, another great place to start if a student is interested in computer science and coding and things like that. We have JavaScript Web Design. So that's for any student who's interested in making their own website. They get to make it about anything they'd like. We're even going to be hosting the website for them, so they could actually, once they finish making the website, we host it, and they can go on and show their friends the website that they made. Again, a lot of coding, a lot of art involved with that. And then lastly, we have Raspberry Pi gaming machine. So this is one for our older students. And in this one, they're actually going to be learning how to, it's more of a hardware end for that one. A lot of our stuff is based on software. This one's more of a hardware end where they're going to learn how to put together their own mini computer that they get to take home, which can play all different kinds of retro games and things like that. But like I said, the important part is they're going to learn how to put it together, use the Raspberry Pi technology, and no soldering or any kind of things like that. But it's another great introduction into computer science, and like I said, especially into the hardware end of things. And kids are kind of amazed that they'll be able to have an actual machine that they get to take home and plug in. So those are all of our courses that we're offering for this year. And really what I want to say, aside from the content of the courses, one of the best parts about campers taking these courses is that they really find their people. and they really find their place. A lot of our students have had trouble making friends before and this and that, or maybe aren't too much into sports and things like that. And it's amazing to see the friendships that instantly happen because, you're in a place where, you're taking a game design course and kids are going to be talking about games all the time, and they're going to be making fast friends when they're in there, no matter what course they decide to take. So they really find their place and find their people and see that there's a lot of like-minded people around them right away. And that's really one of the most powerful things about these courses is that they get to have those friendships and find people who are have the same interests and are like them. But yeah, so that's all of our courses, and I'll put it back to you guys. I guess we'll start the Q&A pretty soon.
Yep, Mike, that was awesome. I appreciate it. Great point about making friends. That's kind of what we do here, and people that come here for years become friends inside of school and outside of camp, and it's just a great point for everyone to just realize that it's a fun place, it's a happy place, and somewhere where your kid will get treated right, treated respectfully, and get to meet other people. Just want to let you know that something really interesting you should be part of is April 30th from 12 to 2. We're going to have an open house at our Hofstra Phys Ed Center right on main campus, and it's a great thing for you to come and see. You'll get to meet all of us. Mike, I know, puts up a great display and even puts out some games and stuff. So if your child's not sure what they want to do, you can literally put your hands on it. We'll take tours of our pool. We have a huge Olympic indoor pool. So rain or shine, we're in the pool swimming. And cool thing is we just redid all our locker rooms. So our locker rooms are state of the art. So they'll be able to take care of that. And, we were able to do that before this year happened. And it was something we went on from last year. So it's been great stuff. And also get to meet some of our staff and our coaches. I mean, two of our coaches are were professionals for years. Speedy Claxton played in the NBA for 9 years. He's our basketball coach, and he runs a camp. And the NYBA is now run by Frankie Catalanato. Frankie played in Major League Baseball for 14 years. So, we feel like we have the best teachers of the game. It's important to have fun, but you also learn and teach, just like Mike was saying. It's not just about meeting people. You learn, you have fun. And I think that's the idea, right? To offer something. I think we have such a wide range of offerings that it's great. Your whole family can come and enjoy it, whether you're a sports person, you're an academic person, you're a gamer. We kind of have a little bit of everything for everyone. So I know we just spoke with our IT guy, so we just put up the discounts live. So if you want to make sure you're in these spots, because Mike will tell you there are only a certain amount of spaces in a computer lab. So some of the things we have a lot of room, but most of his courses are restricted to we use most of all the labs across campus, but those kind of things fill up fast. And last year we ended up stopping registration at the beginning of June because we had so many people interested in coming aboard. So if we can get the questions and answers going, that'd be awesome. And listen, ask anything. And if you have any questions from here on in, you can look online or call the office. Our number is 463-CAMP. So it's 516-463-2267. And Patty's here all the time, and Jackie's here, and we have a bunch of people that'll answer the phone. We're here, like I said, it's a 12-month program. We're here all year long. So we'll go from there. First question: can a rising kindergartner attend? 5th birthday is mid-July. Absolutely. We have a Cub Camp, which is one of the things we're really proud of. Cub Camp is for children that age group, and they get a full immersion into camp. They do a little bit of everything. They do a little bit of academic stuff. They do some athletic stuff. They swim in the pool. They play games, and we try to interject them into some of the different specialties. So when they get a little older, they'll know what they like. But it's run by certified teachers, and we keep the group small so that the children are always kept close to everybody. And they actually have their own bus that they travel around campus on because their small feet sometimes a little hard for them to walk. So we do that, and so that would be great. We'd love to have as many Cub Camp as we have, because that's our future. What kind of new programs are offering this year? Well, Mike mentioned some of his things, and one of the other things we're doing, which is pretty cool, is we're offering pickleball. It's been a thing, and everybody seems to be talking about it. So we did our research, and we do our evaluations at the end of the year. We take them real carefully, and we look through them. And we have Eric, who's our IT guy, analyzed them all into groups. And one of the things they asked two of the things people asked for was pickleball, and we're going to do it right on our tennis courts. And the other thing was ultimate frisbee, which is another thing we go out on the field and take care of. So those are two of the neat things. We've expanded our photography. We did it last year as a one week trial, and it was phenomenal. We have Scott come in. He literally comes in from Florida. He's a professional photographer, and he just loves being with the kids. And it's a neat thing, it's a neat thing to get a skill in that you maybe wouldn't get somewhere else. And our campus is a registered arboretum, so between that and the different buildings, they get to do some really neat stuff. And the other thing we did was our 7th week, our last week at camp, which we call them like science experiment. They're just going to do experiments each day. And I know I saw the curriculum the other day from Kristen, who's been around with us for about 20 years, and they're going to do neat stuff that last week. So, and the other thing we're doing, we're calling a halftime show. We've combined like dance and cheer, and similar to the things you would see at a halftime show, either at our campus or somewhere else. So those are some of the new things we're taking care of, in addition to some of the things Mike mentioned. Animation videos. Was Mike? Take
sure. So yeah, as far as animation goes and that whole world, the best courses I would recommend for that is one is that I'll say is game design. Game Design 101 has a lot of character animation involved with that, and that's more pixel art, like two-dimensional things. 3D printing and animation is probably your best bet for animation. With that one, they're going to be making their own Pixar-like movies. So they'll build their own characters and learn how to animate them and do all different kinds of things. And of course, they have the 3D printing aspect of that, but it's a huge focus on animation for 3D printing and animation. Let's see what else. VTuber Character Creator is more for the older side, but for that one, they're going to be designing their own character and then making it move along with their body. What else would I say? Let's see. Those are the main ones. If they're in the younger group, Pokemon Master Makers, they'll doing some animation. Virtual Reality Creation Zone. But like I said, for pure animation, the best route would be 3D printing and animation. That's what I'd recommend.
Thanks, Michael.
Yep.
How do children know where they go once they get off the bus? That's a great question. The buses pull into our circle, and if you come to open house, you can see we're talking about at our physical fitness center. And we have greeters. Every morning we have people that greet, a whole slew of probably, 10 to 15 people that greet. And what happens is when the bus pulls in, we have people that'll check attendance on the bus. Then we check attendance again when they get inside. So once you get off the bus, there's a stream of people that walk in the doors. And once you get inside, there's also a second set of greeters that will tell you where to go and know where to happen. So it's really kind of compact, and that they get off the bus right kind of in front of the door and they walk right in, and then they'll see. And then we have signs up on all the bleachers. So when they go inside, they can see where they're supposed to be. And like I said, there's always someone in the middle of the gym that's there for a reference, or if they need some kind of information. Part of a credit union, absolutely. Union is part of a credit union. All we're going to ask you for is just some kind of proof, whether it's a card or something like that. But that's anything to do with the union. And we honor the credit union, we honor labor unions, we honor any of those things, construction unions, anything to do with the union. That's one of the things. We respect hardworking people, and we think that that's part of what our goal is here, to get all the hardworking people on Long Island to be part of what we do. Rebecca, I just checked with our IT guy. It's up now. He might have done it before he got to put it in, but what we can do is, if you want to just call the office in the morning, 463-CAMP, and ask for Patty or Jackie, they'll make the adjustment. But I just literally, when we saw the question come up, we went and asked him, and he said it's up now. He just made sure he double checked it, so it should be up now. But thanks for letting us know of that, and we'll be more than happy to take care of that. Once if you call in tomorrow, and they'll adjust it online and send it back to you. Vaccination requirement for children. Not right now. There's not. Like I said, we're lucky that we're partners with Northwell Health, and they tell us, and they get their feed from the CDC and stuff. So we actually have a group on campus that handles that. We follow the same thing they do in the schools. So as of now, no. But I know one of the things that we do require is that all of our employees have to be boosted and before they can even accept an employment application. Are the extended hours off? Yes, I'm sorry I didn't mention that earlier. Till 6 o'clock, we have in the gym, we have a couple people that stay with different activities from, they can do arts and crafts. Once in a while, we'll put on a movie. They can play in the physical education center. So you can stay till 6 o'clock. It's a nominal fee to add on to that. So, and that's for the working parents that won't be home if the bus, was to come before they arrived. That's a really good question, Lucille. We vary, and Mike will tell you, we change curriculum each session, but some of it's going to be just basic staples. But if I want to, tell you what I've done, and I've had my 4 kids come through this camp, we like to switch up because you're something a little different. If you're a gamer, there's plenty of courses to take. If you want to try a gaming thing and then a sports thing or an academic thing, and you don't have to stay. But things the curriculum is somewhat new, but like I said, some of the staple things you're going to just stay the same and go through it. But like sports are different because you have different kids, different teams and stuff like that. So my suggestion would be split it up and try. And listen, I'll just tell everyone this. If you sign up for something after a couple of days, your child doesn't like it, we're really cool with moving you along. You just say, hey, man, I took soccer. He really doesn't like it. Fine, take something else, and we can move you along. So don't ever worry about what you're in. We can always make adjustments. We have so many different specialties here that's very easy for us to move from one to another. Transportation available. Yeah, if you sign up for the Specialty Learning Institute, and that includes the BOCES camp, the transportation is included. If you take a sports camp, it's optional. And to be honest with you, we did that through an evaluation. We did a survey, and most people in sports camp said we come in with a couple kids from our town, and we like to carpool. So there's an additional fee for sports camps, and because those are 1-week sessions also. But in the 2-week sessions, it's included. And what happens is you'll have someone from the bus company will come to your house and put something in your mailbox, usually like a few days before, to tell you, hey, my name is Terry. I'm going to be the bus driver. Expect us to be here at whatever time. Or like I said, the 2 dispatches are here. They usually come in, shortly after April, and they'll start setting up the routes and stuff. If you have any questions or concerns, they're right here on campus with us. How do counselors deal with bullying? That's a great question. One of the things we're very strict on is how we treat the children and how trained our staff is. So we have an orientation that's 3 days. And one of the things we cover is bullying, as far as what it looks like to be, if you're a counselor and you see bullying and what happens and what the things would be. We actually have on staff people that are really qualified. We have a pupil personnel director who's a social worker in one of the prominent Long Island districts. And his whole job is just to go around and make sure that everybody's treating each other right. They're happy. And we have, we'll have a discipline policy that follows that. We also have behavior analysts that work with that. And, we have people that are qualified as counselors, as far as like counseling people. So we do our best to stay out in front of it. And all our counselors are trained how to notice and what are some of the signs. And, at the end of the day, if your child ever has a problem, we stay here pretty late at night to make sure that, all your concerns. So if you thought that something was happening with your child during the day, we'll make sure we're on it and immediately before the next day starts. Michael?
Oh, there we go. Sure. So you know what? I can definitely provide some of that for you. Actually, you know what? The best example, we're definitely going to have that at the April event. We're going to have a lot of the games that students have created are going to be on display for other students to play. And again, most of them are 2-dimensional games, keyboard and mouse kind of stuff. But if you can't come to the event, feel free to get in touch with Hofstra. I'd be happy to show you some of the finished products that students have made.
Kosher lunches. We do not have kosher lunches. We advise people to bring their lunch, and we can adjust accordingly with that. To be honest with you, we've done a little bit in the past, but we just didn't feel like we were getting accessibility to it, just with some of the supply chain problems, and we had trouble accommodating everybody's needs. So our answer is after meeting with our catering staff is to if that's important to you, and I respect that, to bring your lunch, and we can do help you out with that, and that will adjust accordingly if you're not going to use our lunch program. Criteria for the gifted camp. There's an application. basically what we ask for is a couple of referrals, or some of the teacher that knows your child best, and if there's any standardized testing, whether it's one of the state tests or a diagnostic test that's given, it's fine. If you're already in a gifted program in your school and you can provide proof of that, we'll honor that also. No discount codes needed if you register in the next. We'll probably keep it up for a couple of days, but like I said, we just checked with our IT people, and it's already up there now. So that's why I suggested if you're going to do it, register soon so you can get locked in on that, and then we'll take it from there as far as it goes. Like I said, it goes into the system, and we're ready to roll with that. As of when we sign off here, you can register and get the discount moving forward. Mike?
So yeah, no online versions at the moment. So it's right now they're all going to be in person.
That's a great question, Edith. Thank you. Hey, one of the things, and I've been here 21 years, one of the things I'm most proud of is our REACH program. And our REACH program is for children with special needs. Most of the children are on the autism spectrum. And we have a phenomenal woman who was trained here at Hofstra to handle that. And our program started about probably 10 years ago. And a woman, Julie, started it, and she's just laid a foundation for just an incredible thing for the children. And basically what happens is you have to have an intake. So we have to make sure that, the child would fit what we can provide. And after the intake, what you do is you'll come to camp just like every other camper. And what we supply is a one-on-one. It's usually a high school student that'll help them, just redirect them and, accompany them where they have to go. But they're mixed in, they're included with everybody else. When you meet with Shannon, who runs the REACH program, she'll suggest based on your IEP. That's one of the things we would need, your IEP, so we can see where you're at and where you're going and what your goals are in that. And she'll suggest certain programs that might meet the needs of your child. But yeah, we're proud of that. And I think really the cool thing is people that have gone through that program. We've actually hired a couple people to work with us, and that's one of the things that, like I said, we're proud of, and we think we have one of the best programs for that. And they're inclusive. They're right, Mike. They're right in the classroom, and like I said, they just have somebody, we call it a REACH volunteer, that sits next to them sometimes or walks them around, but doesn't overwhelm them. Just helps them redirect, or if they're confused and not sure where to go or what's next. And but what we'll do is after the intake, Shannon meets with the counselors and explains to them. So this young girl, this young man needs you to do this, or these are kind of things that they're not good at handling, and maybe you can work with that. So that's a great question. I appreciate it. And that's, like I said, that's one of the things we're most proud of. If you contact the camp office, I know we started setting up appointments for her to do intake and meet people. And I think that's the best way to do it, so we get to know your child before they show up. The gifted curriculum program is not out quite yet. We're working on it. I can tell you one of the cool things we added this year, though, was the third session. We have a teacher coming in to teach him German. We like to teach different kinds of languages. But I was literally working on that the past few weeks, so we will be very shortly have that up. But we try to differentiate things through the years. Language, there's also something I usually do with writing. We're trying to add like a science component. One of the other things we're going to do this year is bring in some of the professors from the university to teach a lesson every, maybe once a week or every 2 weeks with the kids, just so they can see what it's like at that next level, and so they can see what college is like and what a professor is like, and just get some a little of that like interesting next level experience. They should be up. Mike, what do you got?
Like I said, just check out that Learning Institute section. We'll make sure, of course, but yeah, all of them should be up there at this point.
Kindergarten student, we have a Cub Camp, and the Cub Camp is for children going into kindergarten and children leaving kindergarten. It's run by certified teachers, obviously, that have experience in that field, and counselors. We keep the ratio low. It's like 5 to 1, and they do everything. They get their own special area to eat. They get their own special area in the morning when they get off the bus. They're walked by the hand and put in a playroom, and then what we do from there is they do academics. They have a reading component. They do arts and crafts every day. They do recreation. They have swim. So it's like a full program where they get a little bit of everything. So a taste of everything. So when they want to become a little bit older and a full-fledged camper, they have experience of things and they don't get overwhelmed at an early age. So we're very protective of them. Like I said before, they have their own bus that travels around so they can get where they have to go. And they have their own classroom set up that kind of just looks just like a kindergarten classroom. And they spend some time in there and obviously outside. And it's a pretty neat program. And it's something that we're pretty successful with the children coming, having a good time and feeling supervised properly. Parents you can drop the kids off. That's great. No problem with that. Like I said, we have 2 public safety officers that'll show you where to park. And the only thing we'll tell you is you can't walk into the gym just for safety reasons. You can walk them to the door. That's great. That's awesome. I get it. I understand. You want to make sure they're in the right place and they're comfortable. So that's not a problem at all for anybody. We have some people that like to drop off, don't want to take the bus at all. But the only thing I could tell you, just for safety and reasons, and we can let you drop them off. There's actually we have an attendance office outside with a counter, and you walk up and sign them in, and someone will walk them into where they have to go. Good question. Swimming is indoor Olympic-sized pool that's used year-round. It's instructional. It is. We use the Red Cross certified swim instruction. So for the first half, it'll be instruction. And the second half, it's free swim. So you'll be water safety instructors will come around the first day and assess the level you're at. Just make you do different things in the water. We have a low end for non-swimmers, and we give them a wristband so we can make sure we know who they are. And it's pretty cool because we have swim counselors in the pool. Then a recreation counselors usually sit poolside just to keep a double check, and we have lifeguards that switch continually. So we have 2 full sets, so they're never on the chair too long. And we have, like I said, we just redid all the locker rooms, so they'll change, come in, sit in the bleachers, and they get put in their groups. And then, like I said, they get half of the time is instructional, half the time is free swim. No, we that's a good question, Deborah. Thank you. The 2 weeks, we need 2 weeks because, as Michael will tell you, it's just you wouldn't get enough out of it, and it's really a couple hours each day. So we kind of really ask that you stay for the 2 weeks so you can get a full range of what's doing, especially when you're doing projects and things like that. It's just not enough time to get the full value of what we're able to offer. How many stops does each bus make? It's hard to say how many stops, but what we use predominantly minibuses, just so the capacity is usually 14 or 16, and we don't fill it. We try our best not to fill it. So from the Garden City area, it would depend like where you are on the stop. If you're the first or the last, if you're the last stop, it could be a very short ride. If you're the first stop, it's a little bit longer. But we're pretty strict in what we do with that, and We Transport works out a good deal with us. What they do is they'll do a dry run when they leave the things in your mailbox, and if they feel like the run is too long or it's not planned properly, it's all done by computers and analytics and things. So sometimes that's not always 100% on, but we'll split the bus. We'll do whatever it takes to make people happy. But from Garden City, it's a quick jump, and we have a pretty large population from there, so we can usually pick up within fill a bus or come close to what we would consider filling the bus in a very short time. The bus is a mix of kids of all ages. Usually what we try to do is put the younger children up front so they can stay closer to where the bus driver is, but it's a mix of children of all ages. A lot of the sports camp kids who can be a lot of the older kids don't take the bus. They like to just get driven by their friends and teammates, but it is mixed of all ages. This is recorded. Great question, Gerard. Thank you. It'll be recorded and be put up in the next couple days. So if you have any other questions, there's also one up there now that we did a last one, which goes into detail about how to register and stuff. But I will tell you that we're accepting registrations now. We've been live for a while, and we're pretty far ahead in our pace. what we accept. And I told you, like last year, we cut off because we're not going to do it where we jam kids in where it's unsafe environment. So we're pretty limited in where we put everybody in and how many children we're going to accept. So really, if you want to just put down your deposit, it's a great way to do it. And then you can hold your spot, and you can even change and decide later. And there's payment plans available. But I suggest, if you come April 30th to the Physical Education Center from 12 to 2, you get to meet everyone. It's a great way to see campus. You can drive around, look everything. And I just think as a parent, it's just neat to know where your kids are. And when they talk about something, you can understand what they're talking about and see the different buildings and the different grounds of the campus. All right. I would appreciate everyone for coming. I appreciate Mike for coming by tonight too. We're going to post this in a couple of days. And like I said, there's one up there already that Patty, who's our office assistant, who does an amazing job with Jackie of running that out. And she goes through the whole registration process, which is interesting to learn. But listen, I appreciate everyone coming by. We welcome your calls. We welcome your emails, and we really, truly invite you to come out April 30th. And we also invite you to take care of the registration as soon as you can, so we make sure you fill up a spot for us. And we're going to do another one in a couple of weeks where Mark Russell, who runs the Sports Academy, is going to be with me. We're trying to do them at different days, different times. I think we're going to do a lunch one in a couple of weeks. And again, we'll put it up so you can see it. So we kind of bring in different people who run the area so you can get a full flavor of what it becomes. So thanks again for joining us. I appreciate it. We would love to see you and your family here in the summer and join in the fun and just have a great experience for everyone. Thank you and have a good day.